So what's good, TMG fam? It's your boy L, and I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute. So, you know I was headed here after watching Amityville. You know I was coming here, bro. Before there was an Amityville, there was a Harrisville. Now, and what did we get from that? The Conjuring. The Conjuring, based on a true story. Listen, fam, if you have not seen this, I went back and looked to see when did that movie come out. And it came out, hard to believe it's been that long ago, but it came out in 2013, man. One of the craziest, chilling, just like in your face type, make you jump movies, man. The Conjuring, bro. It was definitely super dope. And today we're gonna check out the top 10 strangest things found in the Conjuring house. So, if you're not prepared for and if you've never seen it, you're in luck today, bro. I just gave you, I just put that on a platter for you and served it up to you. Here you go. Right here for you. Go check that movie out, man. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's gonna hit like it did when it first came out, but it should still be pretty good to watch in today, 2021. I don't know. I haven't. See, that's gonna be something for me to do. Watch The Conjuring now because I haven't seen it in. So some of this stuff is gonna be like a recall from memory. The Conjuring, I don't know. It may hit different in 2021, but I know when it came out in 2013, bro. At least around my town where I was living at, everybody was talking about it. So we're gonna check this video out. If you're new to the channel, man, hit the subscribe button, join the fam. Once you do that, moment of silence for the haters, man. That's enough. Now run the likes up. Let's get to it. Here we go.
The Conjuring movie was released in 2013. It was directed by James Wan, and to this day, it is one of the highest rated horror movies of all time, according to Rotten.
Highest rating horror movie. Listen to the stats.
And to this day, it is one of the highest rated horror movies of all time, according to Rotten Tomatoes. It kicked off a cinematic universe now containing 8 movies in its timeline, but just how much of the Conjuring movie was real? Welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm your host, Taylor McWaters, and here are the top 10 strangest things found in the Conjuring house. Let's get spooky. Kicking off the list at number 10, the old Arnold estate. If you're a horror fan like myself, then part of you probably wants to visit this Conjuring house. I don't know, like 10% of me wants to peek in. Or
I just want to drive past it. Like, you know what I mean? At a very high rate of speed. I want to drive past it. I don't want to stop. And matter of fact, when I'm driving past it, I just want to peek over there. I don't even want to turn my head towards it. I just want to peek and see it and say I drove past it. That's it. I don't want no type of the effects that come with that house. Oh, no.
Probably wants to visit this Conjuring house. I don't know, like 10% of me wants to peek in. Or Ed and Lorraine's Museum of Horrors. I think I'd rather go there. The house in the film looked a lot fancier than it did in real life. It was more cinematic and they made it look even more creepy as a property in general, but that's what happens when you have millions of dollars in your budget. You're trying to make a more memorable horror film too. Now this is the real house. It's referred to by the Perron family as the old Arnold estate, and it's located in Harrisville, Rhode Island. On the real property, there's a barn to the left of the house. So I have to say, the original kind of seems way scarier than the movie. I don't know, barns creep me out. A lot of spiders. Aside from paranormal horrors, the Perron family also had to deal with financial ones. When the family did live there, a pipe burst and flooded their business, so they had to sell more than 85% of their new land. Number 9, witch history. The Conjuring film, the main plot here, of course, is a witch named Bathsheba Sherman, and it's haunting the grounds, or the house. It's a wickedly evil spirit, and the real Bathsheba was born in 1812. She married a Rhode Islander named Judson Sherman, and they had 4 children. Also, apologies if I'm saying her name wrong, but I'm kind of okay with that. I don't want this to be like a Beetlejuice situation where she just pops up randomly and just pukes in my mouth. Herbert.
Yeah, see, that's what I rock with, dude, because I've been thinking the same thing. I'm like, so what? Because I don't need her anywhere in my vicinity. Notice I keep looking over my shoulders, bro. You know what I mean? I don't need her nowhere.
Sherman, her firstborn, arrived when she was 37 years old. He lived a long life as a farmer, and he grew old and all that jazz. But the other 3 children that were born afterwards, there's barely any information about them at all. Julia, Edward, or George. The mother, the witch, passed away on May 25th, 1885, 4 years after her husband did. Now there are stories that her body turned to stone when she died, or it was some sort of paranormal form of paralysis, because of course over time these stories change. It's like the longest game of broken telephone. Obviously a few things here are fake, but what the Perron family did find was the beginning of something very real. Number 8, Bathsheba's gravestone. The grave of the witch was found alarmingly close to the Perron.
Would y'all go there to see the gravestone of her? Would y'all go take a picture with it? I know y'all know how y'all do with the selfies and try to get a picture. Man, I'm not. No way. No way. I already feel certain ways about death and funeral as it is, but actually going to a quote unquote witch's grave? Nah. It's a lot of things I can figure out I could do with my time.
Bathsheba's gravestone. The grave of the witch was found alarmingly close to the Perron family's new home, right on the property next door. Her resting place now is in the cemetery right across the street from the fire station near downtown Harrisville. So if you're ever visiting Rhode Island and you want to maybe, I don't know, be possessed by a witch, throw that in the GPS. Enjoy. And also, good game. They didn't initially think the strange happenings were because of a witch gravesite, obviously. That's not where their mind went to first, but that's when Ed and Lorraine were asked to help out. And they knew right away that it was, well, the witch next door. Number 7, the hauntings begin. The initial incident happened a few years before the paranormal investigators were actually called in. Carolyn, the mother, she was laying on the sofa and then all of a sudden her leg muscle started to have a spasm. Her calf was in this immense pain. She had no idea what was happening. It was out of nowhere. Then when she looked down to the ground, she saw this puddle of blood. She got stabbed by something. It was a very small puncture. And no, if you're thinking it was a bee, it wasn't. She looked and looked for a sign, anything to hint what just happened, and she couldn't find anything. Also, it was a perfect circle. Carolyn described it as if it was a large sewing needle that went through her skin.
Oh, remember in the Conjuring when the lady was laying on the bed and the thing started doing it, like burnt her arm, like fingerprints or something into her arms? That's when I was like, yo, imagine that, man. Please. So I'm guaranteeing that's probably where they got the idea. They just switched it. What happened to her, they just switched it to that lady laying in the bed and that happening to her arm or something like that. I don't know.
Blood. She got stabbed by something. It was a very small puncture. And no, if you're thinking it was a bee, it wasn't. She looked and looked for a sign, anything to hint what just happened, and she couldn't find anything. Also, it was a perfect circle. Carolyn described it as if it was a large sewing needle that went through her skin. Ouch. And in true witchy fashion, the Perron family also had broom problems. That's right, the broom would go missing or it would move place to place. And even more strange, Carolyn would sometimes find piles of dirt in the middle of a recently cleaned kitchen. You gotta love a helping cold dead hand. Number 6, levitating chair. In the movie, the exorcism happens at the end, of course. It's like a happy-ish ending, but in real life, that exorcism never took place. Lorraine Warren has since said that her husband, Ed, would have never performed such a thing, nor would he try. But Andrea Perron, one of the 5 children, has come forward many years later, and she said that she witnessed a seance with her mother, where her mother was speaking in a different language, and she also did not sound anything like her mom. Not even close, which is terrifying. And as Andrea recalls, her mother's chair then started to levitate like it did in the movie, and then after a beat, she was launched out of the chair across the room. It wasn't just Carolyn that experienced these horrible games either. As we saw in the film adaptation, the children too were busy with their own spirits. Number 5, the music box. We had to include one of the creepiest elements of the Conjuring movie, the Perron family music box.
Yeah, that's what it was, the music box. I don't know what I call it, Jack in the Box? My bad. The music box, this part right here.
Director James Wan wanted to use this music box in the first film because, well, mirrors and creepy tones make for great suspense, but also this was a real haunted artifact from the real house. Today the box is safely stored in the Warrens Museum alongside other items that look more or less normal upon first glance, but they're actually extremely haunted. I'll get to those in a bit. This part in the movie actually scared the out of me. Any mirror scene, I can't.
I told you, man. I told you, bro. When you got a grown man telling you it's scared the shit out of him, listen, I'm telling you, bro, that's what I'm saying. And you gotta watch it quiet. Like, do it on one of those rainy days. This is for my people who's never seen it. You know what I'm saying? Because believe it or not, there's some people that haven't seen it. So You gotta watch it on one of them days where it's like dark, or you watch it at night if you prefer to do it then. But it's gotta be quiet, and the volume gotta be up. If you got surround sound, even better. Set the mood. Oh man, y'all, guess what I'm making Queen watch today? Y'all just did it. We're gonna watch The Conjuring. And I got like it set up with the surround sound. So the TV's over here, and then the speakers are back here by the couch over here. And I got it set up so it just surrounds you, all that type of sound. The first time we watched it, we didn't have that. So now that I got it set up like that, and she's jumpy. When she watched it, I don't care if she's seen it before, she'll still jump.
I do it. I always like eat my hoodie. They always do it so slow too. They're like I would slam it. Just slam it, have toothbrushes fly out. I don't care. I'm scared. But this is real life. You can't forget that. This music box actually caused so much trouble for these poor girls. Specifically April, the youngest of the parent children. She found this antique in the house and she used it to communicate to another spirit. This spirit named Rory. Number 4, other owners. Andrea Perrin has told us that every single person who has once lived in this house, they all experienced some sort of paranormal activity. That's comforting. Some left this house screaming and running with only a few belongings. That would be me day one. I wouldn't even make it till night. I'd be out of there by 4:30 p.m. sharp. When the parents sold the house after all these haunting encounters, the guy who moved in then temporarily to start fixing up the house, he left too. He left without his car, he left without all of his tools, and yes, he even left without his clothing. Ghosts don't wait for you to put on pants. That's what I learned doing this. Ghosts do not wait.
So what would you think is gonna happen? First of all, even if it's not anything of a paranormal presence there, if it's not, your mind is gonna mess you up so bad because everything you've heard about this place. I wouldn't even attempt to even try to stay there. Your mind is gonna mess with you off the top before anything ever happens, or if anything doesn't happen. Your mind is gonna have you so messed up that it'll create things that happen and that may not even happen.
Without his clothing. Ghosts don't wait for you to put on pants. That's what I learned doing this. Ghosts do not wait. The current owners of the 18th century farmhouse, Corey and Jennifer Heisen, bought the home in June 2019. And yes, they've already seen stuff. You may ask, who in their right mind would move into a known haunted house?
Right.
Well, paranormal investigators. That's exactly who.
Okay.
The scariest couple ever. They're like, oh, this is perfect. Over $1 million. They're like, debit, we'll take it. Let's get new wallpaper. So far, they've actually witnessed doors opening and closing on their own, and also loud knocks on the wall. Corey, the husband, admits to having a hard time on nights when he's all alone. He says he doesn't feel anything evil per se, but the house does feel busy. Number 3, the Warren Occult Museum. I mentioned the music box earlier, which sits now in the Warrens' creepy personal occult museum. Once belonging to the Perrin family, the music box is one of many strange artifacts. In the museum, there's a vampire coffin. Yep, you heard me. A satanic idol, the Conjuring mirror. There's a shadow doll that apparently has the ability to visit your dreams and in Freddy Krueger-like fashion, stop your heart while you're asleep. And also Annabelle is in there as well, but she's got friends. Annabelle has friends. You'll be pleased to know that Annabelle is actually the least creepy of all of them. A haunted pearl necklace puts Martha Wayne to shame right next to the haunted glass eyeballs, of course. I'd love to know more about the glass eyeballs. Let's see that movie. But one of the most fascinating items in here has to be the headless T-Rex toy. Is that from Toy Story? Is this Sid's room from Toy Story? What a crossover that would be. Number 2, other incidents. A total of 8 generations of one extended family lived and passed away in that same house, all before the arrival of the Perrin family. Andrea has been quite vocal about the happenings, and to be fair, if I had a fraction of her childhood, I wouldn't shut the f up. That sounds like an insane time. I would never sleep. She also confidently states that a lot of those souls never left the house. The Black Book of Burryville, which already sounds creepy, was the town's public records book at the time, and on the property there, it stated that there were 2 hangings that took place. Poison was used in a death type scenario. There were 2 drownings, not 1 but 2, and then 4 men who were passing by just happened to freeze to death on the property. Andrea.
Whoa, how do you just run down? Hold on.
The time, and on the property there, it stated that there were 2 hangings that took place. Poison was used in a death type scenario. There were 2 drownings, not 1 but 2, and then 4 men who were passing by just happened to freeze to death on the property.
So, you know, the whole little thing that I was saying, just passing by, I don't even want to pass by it now. Nah, I'm good. Like, you hear what all has happened to people, so your chances of survival Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'll just watch the movie.
Andrea has a book. It's called House of Darkness, House of Light. So if you're curious to read up on more of these happenings, go right to the source herself and support. Finally, number 1, a photograph of Bathsheba Sherman. You always see those UFO videos and they're filmed with like a BlackBerry curve. It's absolute trash. It's like 420p. It's horrible. Not convincing at all. Not even, no zoom, no effort, just Cloverfields. There's never clear evidence of anything nowadays, but we may just have a clear photo with the real witch, Bathsheba Sherman. This photo is from the parent family farmhouse back when it was still the Arnold estate. This was 1885, so the witch was most likely in her 70s at the time, but still it's hard to tell. The photo is still grainy. But that's because it was 1885, right? You know, it's not a BlackBerry. This is like the world's oldest, creepiest game of Guess Who. This witch lived next door to the farm, and although we'll never really know who is who, many believe she's the lady in the middle, closest to the camera, like right over here. Also, the fact that she's wearing some sort of mask makes this grainy photo even more haunting. She's standing by herself. I feel like the vibe of that group shot was off. Like nobody wanted to stand next to the literal witch.
But if you look at it, hold on. Go back to where it's like, look at how people are just, it's like she's standing here, but look how this lady's standing in sort of like a defense mode or on an offensive mode, like she's getting ready to attack. This person's standing here. This person's standing here looking at her. Why are they standing there looking at her? I think that's her too. And they either know something or are like deciding like, all right, it's time to get her. Like, look at everybody's demeanor in the photo. That's what was, that's throwing me off. That photo says a lot more than what he was talking about, just in my opinion.
Who is who, many believe she's the lady in the middle, closest to the camera, like right over here. Also, the fact that she's wearing some sort of mask makes this grainy photo even more haunting. She's standing by herself. I feel like the vibe of that group shot was off. Like nobody wanted to stand next to the literal
My bad, he said the same thing. So that's what I'm saying. That's the whole vibe I got too.
witch. I don't blame them. Guys, do you think the real Bathsheba Sherman is in this photo? The lady on the left looks a little bit witchy. I don't know, who am I to judge? Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Those are just 10 haunting discoveries of the
I feel like, man, we're gonna have to do like some movie comparison notes and stuff like that pretty soon, because y'all gonna go back, watch this movie. I'm definitely gonna go back, watch this movie, and you know what I mean? What y'all think? Some of y'all, I wanna see some people's like expression of watching it for the first time. Oh my gosh, bro. Wait till we get to a point to where we can watch movies together, like on YouTube and stuff like that. Oh, that's gonna be dope without catching a copyright claim or something like that. Oh man, that's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope. But anyway, man, y'all get at me in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And yeah, the top 10 strangest things found in the Conjuring house. It's your boy L. Stick around and stay tuned till next one. I'm gone. Peace.